Looking ahead, the Rockies start the season. In less than 1 week, their starting rotation is in shambles. I don't know if Buster Olney from ESPN or Tom Verducci from CNN SI came out with their predictions before or after all of these injuries. But Buster Olney has the Rockies as finishing with the third worst record in baseball, 28th out of 30 teams. And Verducci has them 27th out of 30 teams. Spot on?
I mean, the odds came out before the season, Eric. 150 to 1 odds with the Phillies. I'm guessing the Phillies are one team they have ranked below them.
They're ranked at the bottom of most people's polls.
Yeah, Tampa Bay might be there now, given all the shift they've lost in their personnel and lose their manager. The Rockies have done this to themselves. They lost 66. They won 66 games last year. The over/under, I believe, is around what 71 for this year.
Yeah, most people are predicting them to go like 69 and 93 in that area.
I mean, a great season for them would be 78 wins, 12 more wins than last year,
right? Which
you'd think would be possible if Cargo and Tulo are healthy, but it's not possible if you have no starting rotation and your bullpen, which on paper should be a strength this year, is going to be maxed out, to your point you said earlier, by June or end of May. So I think those predictions are fair. Yeah. It's up to the Rockies to prove that they're wrong. Buster Olney is as good as it gets. Tom Verducci's as good as it gets. They aren't throw stuff on the wall and see if it sticks guys. Tom Verducci just won National Sports Writer of the Year last year. Buster, I've known these guys for, in Buster's case, for a decade. Tom maybe longer. They're doing it with research. They're doing it with, objectivity, because they're not around the Rockies. They don't have any reason or any axe to grind. They're looking at it on the paper saying, this looks like one of the 5 worst teams in baseball. They have to prove them wrong. The Rockies have to prove that wrong.
They have no reason to be around the Rockies because
they're not interesting. They're not a story.
They only need to be around teams that are winning.
Well, they're around them, and it's sad. It's because of the Tulo Cargo issue.
Right.
The national writers pay attention to the Rockies for 2 reasons.
Right.
Will they trade Tulo? Will they trade Cargo? That's really it.
Right.
I mean, that's honestly been the only reason national writers pay attention to the Rockies the last few years.
Sad.
It is, because you'd like to see a team that can compete. It's hard to go into a season where you don't feel like you have a chance. And they will say otherwise. Fine, but that's the only way. The only ones thinking that are in that building and in that clubhouse.
You know what?
They have to prove everyone wrong.
As long as Tulo and Cargo can stay healthy,
correct,
this could set up perfectly for the Rockies. If they stay healthy and the team plays poorly because their starting pitching is so banged up, this team will be so bad. I can see Tulo walking up to Monfort and saying, "I've had it."
Yeah.
Not that he hasn't already.
He has never gotten to that point where he's asked out. He has never. He's clearly been frustrated.
Right.
That's been well documented.
But this could be the tipping point, and we're starting to see right now in spring training that with all the holes they might have in their starting rotation, I mean, forget about getting off to a decent start from the starting line. When the gun goes off, they're going to be tying their shoes.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to get out of the gate.
Right.
At all. And if those guys stay healthy, it wouldn't surprise me at all if both guys go marching up to Dick and say, you know what, I just can't do this anymore.
Well, they would have the argument, and I've talked to Tulo about this and less to Cargo about it, but you hate to see as an athlete where you're hurt and then asking out. It's better if they're both playing well.
Right.
If they're both playing well, Eric, to your argument here, and they're 15 under on June 1st,
right.
That is their argument. Like Tulo's say he's like last year, he was the best player in baseball on June 1st.
Right.
Cargo should be he's an all-star.
Right.
And they're 15 under. That's when you'd go to him and say, hey, this isn't working.
Right.
You can get hitters at Coors Field to put up numbers. I mean, it's hard to replace Tulo at shortstop. But you can get hitters to produce. This isn't working. For the best thing for the organization is to move one of us, if not both, to get pitching.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter if I'm hitting 330 with 14 home runs and 45 RBIs on June 1st. We're not even close to competitive.
Right.
So get pitching for me.
Right.
Any deal, though, I will caution Rocky fans this, don't always go for pitching. It has to be 2 pitchers, 1 position player, or 2 position players, 1 pitcher. Because every time they go all pitchers, all in on pitchers, it is a complete grease fire. And they did it with Ubaldo, and they took a chance. Pomeranz, who looks like he's turned his career around, of course, outside of Colorado. Alex, help me out. Alex, I can't think of his last name. It's
White.
Alex White with the Astros. And Mac McBride was in that deal, and then another reliever who never. But it was 3 pitchers and 1 guy. McBride became as a super utility guy who's not good enough to get on the field, and White and Pomeranz blow out. You can't anchor the deal around just pitching.
Right.
It has to involve a pitcher and a position player. That way, you can say, well, the pitcher's in AAA, but we've got our second baseman of the future, or whatever. You have to have something come back of value.